And now, Hardcore Wrestling presents In the News with Bay Area MVP.
Alright, good afternoon, Hardcore Wrestling fans all over the world. Sit on back, relax, have a snack, have a drink, because you are in the news. Here on Hardcore Wrestling Radio for the week of April 8th, 2015. Y'all meet I'm Will, got the crew. Let's get into it. Let's introduce them. First, he's the boss of HWR. He is Rick. Rick, Rubber Mallets. Better tell your building manager to shut up.
Yeah, no such fucking luck. I'm going to be hearing Rubber Mallets for the next few weeks, so shit happens.
Yep. You can catch him on YouTube.com. He's a Comparable One. Lance Boss. Lance, how are we doing?
Yeah, I'm doing alright. Just looking at the window, and yeah, I'm doing good.
Alright. And of course, he's the tag team partner, and he's always up to no good when he drives. He's James from the Big Easy. James, give Divas a chance, still trending?
I don't know. We surveyed 100 people. Oh, wait, that's not Family Feud. No, fairly.
Alright, folks, we're going to start off with something that was brought to something to our attention by our HWR brother, Joseph Knight. He brought us this article to our attention. Yes, folks, it's more of Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. Yes, we have an update, folks. Basically, now it's been reported that Scott Steiner supposedly said that he wants to kill Hulk Hogan. Wow, you don't hear that much. Look,
that's a shocker.
I know, right? Well, Rick, we're going to you first, but let me go ahead and read just a little bit of it because we already reported this, but remember, it's just an update. So I guess supposedly there was a little bit of encounter at the San Jose Norman Mineta airport where supposedly his wife Jennifer says that Steiner supposedly grabbed her and said he was going to kill Hogan. You know, she filed a police report with the San Jose Police Department. Wow, not a shock there. Then Steiner replies, I'm not going to dignify Hogan's lies. It says that he didn't put hands on Jennifer. Much more to remind of the fact that he was more mad at the fact that he was introducing Macho Man. He stated that those two never really liked each other. You know, why is this happening? You know, the investigation goes on to say that her life was threatened according to Jennifer Hogan, whatever her last name is, who cares? And, you know, so far Steiner has not been contacted by the police yet. But one more thing has been that, you know, he said that's not my fault. Hulk Hogan is afraid of me. So, Rick, Scott Steiner's at it again. What do you think?
Oh, Steiner. I think I found out why Steiner really has a beef with Hogan. Okay, you know, he found out, and this is, okay, you know, they found out, you know, last year that Hogan was fucking, was fucking that guy's wife on camera, and then, you know, Steiner was like, wait a minute, hold on. Why can't I'm Big Papa Pump. Why can't I be why can't I be the hookup? Right? He didn't want anybody to holler at me. That was what he's mad at. And he's mad about that shit. So, you know, that's the beef. I don't have written confirmation. That's just through the internet. So, I can't confirm that, folks. Please. I don't want to start any rumors.
Yeah, but,
that's it.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
on a serious note, Steiner's always been kind of like a loose cannon, so who knows what the fuck he's pissed off at. He could have woke up, he could have stepped on a grape and just had a bad day.
Very well said, Lance.
Honestly, with this, I don't know who to believe because it's kind of like that episode of kind of like that episode of South Park where they had the vote. It was pretty much you had pretty much in this story you have to pretty much decide who to believe between a giant douche and a shit sandwich. Because both Hogan and Steiner are both full of more shit than in a sewage truck.
Well, okay, James.
I'm just gonna say, what the fuck? It's a slow news day. I'm not surprised at anything, you know. So all I gotta say is, Yeah, let's move on. I got nothing to say.
Okay. Well, it looks like Rick spoke more about it than you two put together, and I'm just going to say this. We reported this last week. We don't know if Scott Steiner was supposed to get the dibs on Jennifer Hogan first, or we don't know if there's any bit of tension. But then Joseph did bring to our attention, for those who don't remember last year, is that there was a lawsuit that TNA was in against Steiner and Hogan at the time. They were both in that organization. We don't know the contents of that, but it's probably what it's all about. Or maybe he just blended into his gimmick too much. I just think that whatever you're on, Mr. Steiner, just stop. Just please stop right now. You're making yourself look like a fool. Your career's gone. Your, what is it, genetic DNA, whatever you want to call it, is
steroids.
It's downfall. Rick's over there like, what did you... Go ahead, Rick. Would you say his genetic DNA has went downhill for Rick's like, what are you pointing to me for? Nah, just kidding. No,
I'm sorry, my genetic DNA, please, his genetic DNA, he may have all the muscles but no brain.
Lance, you think his genetic DNA has went downhill with all this?
Steroids! Sorry, my allergies are acting up.
Jay.
No comment.
No comment. Well, bottom line, Scott Steiner, go away. Next, we're going to go to a little bit of a interesting return of a tag team called the Prime Tyme Players. Yes,
millions
folks.
of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars.
3 weeks ago, about 3 weeks to a month ago, Darren Young was supposed to be in a match with a mystery partner that nobody knew about that went against the Ascension. And guess who comes to his aid? Titus O'Neil. Now, substantially now, they're back as the Prime Tyme Players. Now, for the last couple of weeks, they're doing vignettes about the New Day, picking at all the stable members, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, Big E. That was funny. Then last night they did What About the Ascension? And I'm just going to go ahead before I go to you, Lance. I want to clarify something really quick for some of the YouTube comments that I saw. And listen, you IWC marks who listen to the show that can't tell a padlock from a headlock. The Prime Tyme Players did not make fun of the Legion of Doom. The Ascension is already doing that. It's not our fault that creative at WWE are a bunch of fucking lab monkeys. Now, if you want to blame someone, blame the Ascension for doing that. The Prime Tyme Players, they're just picking fun at the Ascension for doing the gimmick. So let's get that straight. Now, Lance, with all these going around for the Prime Tyme Players, are we going to see a push? What do you think?
I think we will, but this whole making fun of all the tag teams is going to run out fairly quickly because, let's face it, the tag team division ain't that damn deep.
Well, we just got the Lucha Dragon, so things are looking up, though, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but then again, when you go from I'd say at most 10 tag teams to 11, that still ain't that damn deep.
All right. James, what do you think about a possible push for the Prime Tyme Players?
Well, really, it's like, this was a push that they needed, like, years back. Remember when they had, like, what's his name? Mr. Washington.
Abraham Washington.
Yeah, him. You know, and they was about to have that push before Mr. Washington over there freaking made that comment about
the Kobe Bryant, yeah.
And then I think, like, you know, they could have got the push still, even when they released them. But, you know, they didn't. And I think this is a push I feel like it's too late to do, but it could still work. But at the same time, what Lance said is that division is not that deep, so could they contend with Tyson Kidd and Cesaro? You never know. But I think Cesaro and Kidd will still be champions for a while.
Okay. Boss?
Well, obviously they're going to get some kind of a push. Do I feel like they got to push all the way to the title? I'm not on board with that just yet. Obviously, they need to get a little bit of heat. get themselves into the run, but where that takes them, that's up to the fans, obviously, because if the WWE's going to say, yeah, you know what, nah, they're not feeling it, obviously, they're going to take them out of that run just as quick as they can put them in there. We've seen that before. We've seen guys getting a run and a hot title pick, and they're in it, and all of a sudden, boom, they're off, and then they're in the jobber land. So I'm not on that board just yet. I see they had the possibility to do it because they do have the mic skills, but they got to see they have that chemistry. They've split them up once, so they can certainly do it again.
You guys are right. There's no tag team division this deep right now in the WWE. We can sit here and talk tag teams all day, but we don't got time for that. I mean, picking fun. I mean, whatever happened to a good old-fashioned let's go to the ring and call you out type of thing? I mean, it's not going to work. I used to support these guys even before Abraham Washington wanted to be their agent. Now, like James said, yes, the Kobe Bryant tweet thing screwed his career and left the PTP in the weeds, basically. You know? I mean, I liked them as a heel. I liked them as a face because they had the charisma. They knew how to connect with the fans, not just the mic skills, but what they brought to the table. Now, like the boss said, they broke them up, you know, and look where Titus ended up with. Heath motherfucking Slater. And where did that get them? Nowhere. Except for a tag team called Slater Gator, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that was even worse.
So, I mean, then Titus went back somewhere, Dr. Silver, and like, I gotta get back with Darren Young.
But I feel like right now with this gimmick, it's like more of, you know, it's basically them making fun of, you know, the two teams that people had high hopes for, but flopped instantly. Like New Day and then the Ascension. Both of them, you know, were talked highly of, but all of a sudden was freaking flopped silly for both of them.
Now,
I disagree with you there because people aren't really talking good about New Day. New Day people are really kind of trashing.
And the Ascension,
and that's what I'm talking about. It's like, you know, they came in as like this face gimmick, and all of a sudden now people say New Day sucks and whatnot. So yeah, this is basically just them making fun of like people who had high hopes. WWE had high hopes for, but flopped.
now, if anybody remembers WWE Inbox Insider, where Big E was showing signs of a heel turn because he got irritated by a fan. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this first: is New Day getting ready to turn heel? They should have been heel. Rick, what do you think?
You know what? I agree. You know, Joe said it on the show many times that that's a group that should have came out heel from Jump Street. And he even used, the Harlem Heat 2K15 with Booker T as the manager. And I'm like, nobody wants to see that, but I'm starting to maybe agree. And I even put it on the joke on the page earlier on our Facebook page Monday night, because when I saw Xavier Woods in the corner kind of pouting about the situation, I'm like, I think he was happier as that Consequences Creed. Just look at the guy, you can tell he was happier because this gimmick is not working for him.
All right, Lance.
That's the only way this gimmick is going to survive. They need to turn and need to turn now.
All right, James, you think them turning heel is going to revisit their career?
I don't know, because, you know, some of these people hasn't been like, well, except for Big E, but like everybody else hasn't been a heel. So it's really going to be interesting how it works with the New Day gimmick. They should have been heels, and they might be heels. I don't know if it will work, so it's too early to call for me.
Yeah, if you guys said that, Joe posted, hey, I agree with you guys. I mean, we never see Kofi Kingston heel. We never see Xavier Woods heel. Would this be interesting for them to go heel? Because, see, I already called this. I see Prime Tyme Players, New Day, possibly as the pre-show match at Extreme Rules. I don't know why. I just been sensing it. But we'll have to see. And next, we are going to talk about a little bit of John Cena's interview on Chris Jericho's podcast. Now, I'm just going to get to the point here, folks. I'm going to go first on this one. I've only listened to a little bit of the interview, and one of the topics that Jericho brought to Cena is, would he turn heel? So I'm going to read this excerpt right here, and then I'm going to go around. He said, it was discussed briefly with the program he did with The Rock. He got the theme music, the gear, and everything. He just tried to do the best job that he could. If it happened, he would be all for it, but he was worried about the kids and what face would be the next baby face in the WWE, and more about how it'd be rewarding, great inspiration. And like I said, they should have turned Cena heel time ago, but he's Vince's boy. And when you hear those words, Vince's boy, that means there ain't going to be no heel turn. There isn't going to be much happier fans in the WWE universe. And then they talk about, well, who'd be the next one? He brought up Roman Reigns. And then and another part, he brought also Daniel Bryan, NXT star Sami Zayn. I mean, there's other stars. Guys could take this. So, James, with this interview, if Cena were to go heel, who do you think would be the next babyface? Reigns, Bryan, Zayn? Who would you pick out there?
If just think about this. You see, Cena's right. He could be a heel, but the reason why he isn't a heel is because he thinks of the kids. I mean, yeah, people go boo and piss and moan, but he does it for the kids, not for us as like older wrestling fans. He thinks about the younger ones, the ones who with the Make-A-Wish Foundation and whatnot. So if I were to pick a face, it was either going to be Dolph Ziggler or Daniel Bryan, because both of those have the fans. Roman Reigns doesn't have a character. He's a good person, yeah, but I just don't feel he's right now. He is not up there. Improve him more, give him a character that works, and then I could see it. But right now, Ziggler and Bryan are my choices.
All right, very well said. Lance?
Well, to kind of while I would love to see Bryan or Ziggler both become face, we got to remember one thing. Vince don't give a damn what we want. It's going to be some jacked up fucker like Roman Reigns, because, well, he likes him some big jacked up motherfuckers. And something, let's face, and this is something either Jericho or Cena said on there. He's already the biggest heel out there because, hell, everybody boos his ass.
Cena said that.
Yeah. And something that, honestly, with that interview that pissed me off that he said, he loves this company. He loves how it's run and stuff. First thing that popped in my head, no shit you love the company and the way it's run. You're the fucking face of it. You get whatever the fuck you want.
All right, Lance. Very well said. Rick?
Well, I have to agree with, what Lance said. Yeah, first off, Cena said he is the biggest heel in the place because he gets booed out every night by the majority of the fans. Even though he gets cheered, yeah, but he gets cheered by the kids, which is who he really cares about. And the fact that he is a company guy, there's nothing wrong with that. I know that Lance is really sitting over there in the corner stewing about it, but if you think about it, a lot of people go to work to be a company guy. And the fact that he's an entertainer, you know what, fine. And he just said, and at least look at you guys like Brock Lesnar, who's not a company guy, who's just there to make money. Look at guys like The Rock, who says he's a company guy. Well, where is he? You know what I mean? If if Cena was not a company guy, he would have taken his money at 40 and only been a part-time player. So I think a lot of people really take Cena the wrong way and look at him the wrong way. And you know what? The fact that Cena just chooses not to change his image, that's his choice. He'll make that change when he feels he needs to change. Hulk Hogan didn't make his change until he was in his late 40s and he had to went to another company. If Hulk Hogan never went to WCW, we may have never seen him make that change. And when he went back to WWE, that change didn't happen. Look at Hulk Hogan now. He's still in the red and yellow, and he's still the brother. We don't see him in the black and white.
When he first
we did, WrestleMania.
He came back to the NWO, yeah, we did.
Okay, but but again, it was after, it was from the WCW creation, not something that WWE created. They were going on the nostalgic. Nothing more.
Okay, very well said. All right, and one more thing, folks. If Cena were to turn heel finally, who would you think would be the next face of the company with that much skills? I would have to go with a coin flip between Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler. Rick, who would you pick as the face if Cena finally turns heel for once? Going forward.
If I really had to make a pick, I personally like Dolph Ziggler. I like them both equally, but right now I think Daniel Bryan, and I know he's the fan favorite, but I'd like to see Dolph Ziggler get a chance.
All right. Lance, who would you have to pick?
And we're not going by who we think will be. We'll our personal, right?
No. Just who would you have to pick?
Okay. Well, since I'm still wondering about how good Daniel Bryan's neck is, because we've heard all these rumors that WWE, they're not happy with it. And I'm wondering how well his neck's been to myself. I gotta go Ziggler.
Oh, so we're 2 for 2. James?
I go Bryan. I go with that one because I feel like he's more the fan favorite. I mean, I agree with Lance says that if there is a WWE choice, it could be Roman Reigns. But if I had a choice, it would be Bryan.
Okay. And I would have loved to have gone on board with both you guys, but there's actually one person that y'all forget right now who's been doing very well. Because right now, this roster is very heel heavy right now. And I would still have to go with Dean Ambrose here.
That's a good one.
Yeah, even though despite he got thrown through a table or ladder from Luke Harper, that was nasty as hell. But Dean Ambrose, he's like the Energizer Bunny, folks. He keeps going and going and going. And like Led said, we don't know if Daniel Bryan's health and his neck is going to affect him going forward to the rest of his career. Dolph Ziggler, he's a bit of the underdog, but his mouth always gets him in trouble. Good choices, fellas. Don't get me wrong. I like him, but here's a guy that sticks to his gimmick. He's just like me. He doesn't shy away from opinion, and he knows how to go. And I'm going to have to go Ambrose on this one. I'm not going to agree with what Cena said about Reigns, because Reigns, let's face it, he was not ready to win the Rumble. We all knew he was going to win at Mania, so I hope that this is just a circulational abyss that, if they either put Reigns somewhere where he could get himself revived or something, but I'm going for Ambrose for now.
I still think that Reigns will eventually win the title from Rollins. I see Rollins and Reigns eventually. Excuse me. I still see Reigns winning the title off of Rollins. Those two are going to be the two top ones. I mean, eventually, the way that Rollins is going to win the title, they could be the next Cena or Orton if WWE plays it right. But who knows? The way that WWE moves their roster around it's like a storm. 1 minute they push another guy, then they drop a guy. Then they push another guy, then they drop a guy.
Right. All right. So there you go. Well, folks, that's just going to pretty much wrap it up here on Hardcore Wrestling Radio in the News. What we like to know from you is Scott Steiner on something? Did he do what we said on the show? Did he really grab brother's wife? What do you think? Give us your thoughts. Prime Tyme Players are they really going to get the push they need possibly for the titles by picking their tag teams? Leave us your thoughts. And what about the Cena interview, the excerpt about his heel turn? Is he really going to go for it? Is he going to be worried about his, his fans and whatnot? And what next babyface do you think should be the face of the company when he leaves? Leave a comment in the comment section below. Like, rate the video. We're on SoundCloud. So, boss, take us home. Where could they find you at? And all the good stuff.
Of course, you can always find us on our page. That's facebook.com/hardcore wrestling radio. And anytime you want to listen to more podcasts like this, check us out at youtube.com/HWR show.
Let's tell the fans what you do at YouTube and what goes on over there.
I'm at youtube.com/LanceMossTV. I got album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck gourmet cooking videos, musical equipment reviews, some rants, the archives of controversies and scandals, and also follow me on Twitter. It's at LanceMossTV.
All right. He's a tag team partner, Jason Bacon James. Tell the people about Twitter. What do you do on Twitch? All that good stuff.
I'm at Twitter at FatBoyFollower4. Just follow me there. I just do tweets, more wrestling or whatever news. You can find me on twitch.tv/FatBoyFollower4 where I do PS4 gameplay. And you go back to the gameplay. And you can find me also on youtube.com/JTD70129. In a few days, I'll be releasing a video on a couple of what ifs that we have talked about.
And notice, folks, he did not use the hashtag "Give Divas a chance." See how embarrassing that is?
I can't, because right now the Divas division is kind of fucked up right now because we don't know who's got the new face. So, yeah.
You guys heard it first. You heard it first. Remind yourselves of this day. All right. As far
Mark
as
it down on your calendar. It's a shocker, I know.
Yes. Of course, you can find me at SoundCloud.com/HWR Show. You can review all the HWR in the news, and we're back on YouTube and all that good stuff. Be sure to, tune on in for our In the Moment shows. And, shout out to Andy over there at StoneCondit.com. Check it out there. Joseph Knight at ClassicWrestlingAssociation.com. Make sure you guys look up their websites, all that good stuff. So we're going to wrap it up here. For the boss, the incomparable one, and the former Twitter/Diva God of the World, this is Will saying, are we ready for millions of dollars? Are you ready to see John Cena turn heel? Let us know. Tune in next time on HWR.
Thank you for listening to this edition of In the News. Be sure to check us out over at facebook.com/hardcore wrestling radio, and also be sure to follow us over at dailymotion.com/HWR show. And now, check us out at our new location, soundcloud.com/hardcore wrestling radio. Until the next time, this is your hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you.